What is going on, everybody? We're here. We're live. I actually hit the go live button this time, and we're ready to rock and roll with Jay, drunk 3PO in the morning. What's up, Jay?
What's up, man? How you doing? How you feeling? Number one, you almost died on us earlier this week.
I'm good. I still have a little phlegm in the throat, a little coughing here or there, but I feel okay. I feel all
Just
right.
powered through.
Not too bad. Yeah, just a cold or something. Those things happen. But yeah,
I
overall,
guess
I'm
so.
not
I guess
dead.
so.
So, and the Cubs won last night. So if they had lost, I would have wanted to be dead. But as it is, I'm happy to be living at least for another couple hours because the Cubs play again tonight with their season on the line. Win or go
Yankees
home.
lost, huh?
Yeah, Yankees lost. Cole Hauser, sorry, no chicken for you, bud.
Oh
Cole
yeah, you guys
Hauser.
had a bet.
Yeah, if the Yankees won the World Series, I was gonna have to buy Cole Hauser a big, juicy bucket of fried chicken. But I get to save my money because the Yankees lost. So
That's it.
makes everybody happy. Which makes everybody happy. I'm
After the
happy.
Cubs, if the Cubs win this series, who would they play next?
The winner of Dodgers Phillies. Phillies hung on last night, I believe, so they extended that series. Well, at least unless something happened right before I was about to go to bed, it looked like they had it handled. I could be wrong. I guess I didn't officially check it when I woke up this morning, but yeah, that game's still going. So Phillies staved off the Dodgers yesterday.
I was gonna go see Tron today, but I don't know if I will. I'm gonna review it on the Monday Hangover, but I'm just like, the reviews that have come out are ridiculously terrible. Just like really bad. I showed you one earlier. I like this one. This one's funny. How bad Tron is, where the Telegraph is just basically saying Tron is so bad it makes you wish AI would hurry up and destroy Hollywood. That's how bad it is. When they're calling for AI slop, we would rather have AI slop than this film. That's how bad this movie is. My gosh, man. I don't think I've ever seen or heard of a movie being that ridiculously awful where they're like, I'd rather just watch freaking an AI slop movie.
Well, like to me, I don't think it looks very good. I'm not a big Tron person. Like I've watched Tron. Yeah, sure. I've never really been passionate or cared about or been a massive fan of the franchise. They're just kind of movies that are like,
yeah,
okay, guess that's cool and like move on. Doesn't affect my life at all. So I can't say I'm a big Tron fan. But the trailers, it looked off. The idea of it in the real world seems strange to me. Wasn't a big fan of it. Didn't really look compelling. But I think we're probably supposed to review it for Friday Night Tights. So we'll see.
yeah.
But yeah. Now, with that being said, does it really move me that the critics say that it's not very good? Does it really move me that it has like a 57% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes? Not really. But just from what I'm seeing, what I saw from the trailers, it didn't look like it's going to be any good to me.
Yeah. And then like what I'm also hearing, I don't know, spoilers or not, but that Tron is not in the film. Tron movie without Tron in the film.
Well, thanks for the spoiler.
That's what I'm hearing. I don't know if it's true.
You're spreading potential misinformation.
Yeah. Also, I just learned that Kathleen Kennedy's getting fired. Ryan.
Finally.
I just got a quick source that came in. She's out as well. So you heard it here first.
He's got all the spoilers today.
But they're still pressing on with the Ray movie. So you know what I watched yesterday, man? You know what I watched? For some strange reason, it came up. I watched the movie Signs. Did you ever see the movie Signs?
Yeah.
Did you like it? I love that film. I don't know what it was. I just thought it was great. I didn't realize Kathleen Kennedy was the producer of that as well.
I was never a huge Signs person. As M. Night Shyamalan, right?
Yeah.
Like, I believe like here's what I probably think about Signs is that when I watched it, I was probably too young to really fully get it. You know what I mean? But I was never a huge fan of it. It never really did much for me. And I have not rewatched it since I watched it when I was a kid. What I liked a lot more was it Scary Movie 3 that parodied Signs.
Yes.
I love that. I thought that was
That was great too. The best part of Scary Movie 3 is when so the movie Signs, he's a preacher and his wife dies in a car accident. And when they reenacted Scary Movie, the guy's like, "Hey, sorry I killed your wife. You mind giving me a ride home when this is all over? My car's kind of smashed." Man, I was like, that's so funny, dude. The guy that killed his wife was asking for a ride home.
Well, and like, was it like
They
say
peed from their finger too.
they say hi in their world by like putting each other's fingers in their mouths or something?
Yeah.
And then like 5 seconds later, they reveal they piss out of their finger too.
That Charlie Sheen?
Charlie Sheen, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I did like that was the best part of Signs for me in Scary Movie 3.
I don't know. It was on like the recommendation page on Prime. So I was like, yeah, I haven't given this a watch in a while. So I put Signs in while I was
Yeah, there
eating
you
dinner.
go.
I thought it was good.
Jay, you had some Disney news for us today.
Yes. I know everyone in my chat is really, really looking forward to their Disney vacation. Well, on top of everything else, they decided yesterday that they were going to drop the news that they're raising the ticket prices yet again. Um, they just recently raised it not too long ago, but they're looking to raise it even more. This is the annual pass. This is for Florida, but they did it in California as well. So you get a slight difference, as they slowly start raising it about $20, $20 to $80, depending on the pass. They also snuck in that they're raising the parking prices an extra $5. So some people might be paying an upwards of $40+ just to park their vehicle. They also raised single ticket pricing, which you said he has it here. Didn't put it in a graph, but basically, this will be the first time that single day tickets will cross over the $200 mark. Now, what they normally do is this: they'll advertise and say you can go to Disney World for $200 a day, right? Something like that. What they have to offer is one random day on the calendar where the ticket prices is the lowest, and they can advertise it saying you're only going to spend under $200, but the rest is high. And then they charge more, of course, on the weekends, or if they feel like it's going to be very busy around the holidays, things like
Yeah, it's
that.
like if you want to go on Tuesday, March 13th.
Yes.
Like in this time of the year where like nobody would be there or whatever, then you might get a discount deal or something.
Right.
And look, isn't this coming as, I mean, like Animal Kingdom has almost all their rides shut down right now for some
Correct.
type of repair or refurbishment. The parks, according to a lot of reports, are kind of emptier than they've been in a very long time, and now they're hiking
Correct.
prices.
There, while Universal's pretty packed, at least Epic is almost sold out for the entire Christmas season. Tickets to get into their park, and they haven't even released annual passes for Epic Universe yet. And to get a fast pass at Epic Universe could cost up to $350 depending on when you go. That's crazy, but people are paying it. This is the new prices at Disneyland. As you can see, they have no change in the tier 0. There's literally 2 days on the calendar where there's a tier, like you said, like some random Tuesday in a March. So that's what they're going to advertise. They're like, some ticket prices have never changed, but then the rest of it goes really up to tier 6. They're charging $224 a day to go to Disneyland, and their annual passes have jumped up considerably higher as well. The biggest freak out of all, maybe not freak out, but the biggest thing is the fast pass lightning lane. So if you want to get a fast pass for Florida or in California, that has significantly jumped up. Some days will cost you $50 to $70 per person per day, and that doesn't even include all the rides. If you don't know how that works, first you pay for the lightning lane, which could be, let's just say, $25. Then you get to pick 3 nobody cares about rides to use, and then they tell you what time to show up. And if you want to go on what they consider a premium ride, you have to pay extra of upwards of $30 to $35. Now even more. Who knows what the highest is going to be. So if you want to ride like their top attraction on top of what you paid for the lightning lane, you got to pay again to get a time slot to come back to a premium ride experience. Compare that to Universal or SeaWorld or others. It's basically you buy a one ticket and it's good for all the rides in the park that offer the express. So, which they just opened up Hagrid's to an express ride. So,
yeah, a month or two ago, as I went and I was shocked to find it was express, which is nice because that's the one that I usually have to wait on to go.
Correct. And like Velocicoaster. And this coming off the terrible news that a 65-year-old woman that went through the Haunted Mansion in California had a heart attack mid-ride, and they couldn't bring her back to life when they got off at the end. They rushed her to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. Right.
Jay, I didn't even know you were going to talk about this. I think you saw somebody in the chat say it and you looked, or no, you bookmarked it, so never mind. I had this ready to talk about.
Oh, I don't have the chat up on daily because
I didn't think you even knew about it yet. But yes, indeed, just 2 weeks after a man in a wheelchair dies on Stardust Racers at Universal, and a lot of the Disney people were slamming Universal for this. A lot of the Disney people were trying to use that to shit all over Universal when some dude that should not have been on a ride, that had a pre-existing medical condition, all of this stuff, died on the ride. Well, now you have it in California as well. Disney's Haunted Mansion. Maybe she got scared to death. We don't know. She was in her 60s. They are saying that nothing about the ride contributed to this. It's just it just happened while she was there. But woman dies after riding Disneyland's Haunted Mansion, reports say. Police told media outlets there was no indication there was any issues with the attraction that contributed to the woman's medical episode. A woman died Monday at Disneyland after riding the Haunted Mansion attraction at the California theme park. The woman suffered an unfortunate medical episode on Monday, October 6th. The woman was in her 60s, but not identified with police. First responders arrived around 6:30 to call about an unresponsive woman who had just been on the ride. The woman was taken to a nearby hospital where she was pronounced dead. Haunted Mansion reopened shortly after the woman had been taken away. Anaheim police told media outlets there was no indication any issues with the attraction that contributed to her medical episode. So,
and imagine getting that in that seat.
Man, they didn't waste too much time. They said, hey, drag the body out. Let's roll this ride back up. That's basically Disney's policy.
I can only imagine, like, if you're on that ride, my gosh, and then it's coming to a close and the cast members who are probably college age, sees an unresponsive, pretty much the dead woman, and she won't get out, and you got to stop the ride for who knows how long to get the medical people in there to get her out while you're just sitting there. Hopefully you didn't have to use the bathroom. It's probably a good wait. And then take her to the hospital just so they could pronounce that she's dead. So,
who knows? Maybe we'll find out more about this again. Just like with the Universal thing, sometimes people just die. That is a thing that happens. Especially people in their 60s, who knows what kind of pre-existing medical conditions, whatever, especially after a rough day walking around in the park in the sun. Who knows, right? Who knows potentially what contributed to this sad death. But yeah, right on the heels of the Universal news, you got this from Disney.
It's rough out there on them theme park streets, man.
It is for some people. I've seen people that I look, when I go to the theme parks, I've walked around, I've looked at people that look like they're going to die. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, these people that are like morbidly obese, they decide to come in August here in Florida. It just looks like they're cooking like rotisserie chicken.
Sometimes you can smell the fat start to cook.
It is like grease are coming out of their veins. And I'm like, man, this person needs to go back inside, and they're shoving down a pretzel, and whatever else. And it's like, my gosh, man, I know they don't feel good. Shout out to those that do go and never get a scooter because they want to try to walk a little bit.
I never get a scooter. You shouting me out?
No, I'm talking about the obese people.
Oh.
That are like, I'm going to tough it through, I need to walk. I know there's one of them out there somewhere. They're there. And shout out to you.
Gotta do your theme park stuff early, man, because when it gets late, when the sun's been beating down on people, that fucking stank, bro.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many people at theme parks just fucking stink.
A lot.
You just smell it. You're sitting in a line and you're like, oh, disgusting.
The worst is when you get on a ride and you see the person that got up and you got to sit in their seat and there's just like back sweat all over the seat. You're kind of like, hey, Beardo, you can sit there. I like this side. hopefully he didn't pay attention.
You always need to go with a partner like that. You can fuck over.
Be like, hey man, can I get the right side? It's it's a luck thing. I don't know. It's my good luck seat.
Alex McCarthy for $2. Arcade 3PO, Thursday Meta PC, Code RK Outposter, Drunk 3PO.
There it is.
Thanks, Alex.
Hey, that's 2 videos for Park Hop and Danky. Look at that.
We're fishing over here.
Yeah, that's it.
Keenan for $2. Ever heard the song Rome?
Who sang it?
I know. I think I know a song called Rome from back in like the 80s or early 90s, but I don't know. Keenan, I don't know what goes on in that brain of yours, man. Like what the questions that you come up with. Like, did you just listen to it? Like, I don't know. AJ Lee, Chicago PD are the bitches of the year.
What did they do?
Everything that's going on right now in Chicago with the raids, with
I didn't know if there was a new statement that I missed.
I don't know exactly what he's talking about either. I'm guessing about the general state of things. Sierra Tan, happy Thursday. Thanks, Sierra.
Hey, thank you.
Zenny Biscuit. What's up, Zenny Biscuit, who we usually see every single week on Sports Wars. AC Civil War. Make it where you get 2 stories in one. One character is South, the other North. DLC, you play as President Davis' adopted black son, Jim Limber Davis. That's an interesting idea, Zenny Biscuit. The idea that, and we're going to talk about this whole Assassin's Creed situation and what their guess was, and it's had a lot of people talking about a potential game set in the Civil War era, all this stuff. But, man, the idea of their 2 protagonists, one being from the South and one being from the North, that could actually be something that would be very interesting. And you swap between those characters. Hi, Kira. Watch Tron Uprising instead. 19 episodes starring Elijah Wood. The show actually had Tron in it as well. Very underappreciated show. I had no idea.
I didn't either.
Keenan Endenu for 2. Are you good at building models? Jay's got fat thumbs, so.
Yeah, so especially when I got to get the glue in there, start to get the shakes.
Now
Legos different, but
oh yeah, Legos are fucking awesome. I don't know if I would say I'm good at building models, but if I sit down and actually have the patience and like set my mind, hey, I'm gonna do this today. I'm gonna do this tonight. I can get it done. I don't know if I would say I'm good at it. I'm fine at it. Mr. Christmas for $2.79. Ryan, BJs were great last night. ALCS. Yeah, Blue Jays.
Ooh.
Knocked out the Yankees. Jay thinks he's going to get sick just being on stream with me.
You never know. Stuff could jump.
Vlad the Man for $1.99. Well, hurrah, guys. Season 3 Tulsa King. So far, so good. I got to get caught up. I got to watch. I know a couple episodes of season 3 are out. I haven't watched it yet, so I got to catch up.
I got to get caught up too.
Keenan for $2. Heard the song Ghetto Superstar? That is what you are.
You're a superstar. That is what you are. Yeah.
That's a yes. Tobias Nexus found a new hazard of cat ownership, and now I need to find a way to keep my new kitten away from my power strip. I mean, you could try shocking it, I suppose.
Yeah, talk to Hassan.
Yeah. Streaming Hunt last night, and he stepped on the power strip, turning it off midstream.
Your cat turned off the power strip.
I can imagine, like, he walks by and he just hits the switch. That is pretty funny. Cats get into things, man. Boy cat or girl cat, Tobias? That's the question.
Yeah. Orange cat, is it an orange tabby or I don't know.
Orange boy cat's pretty cool. Pretty chill.
Like the Garfield?
Girl cats, it's kind of like real women. You never know what you're going to fucking get, bro. Be a little bit psycho. Oh, she's sweet, but she's psycho, you know? Snacks, R.I.P. Shiitake in Africa. Timbo Slice for 10. I've never been to Disney. Seems like every day there's new information coming out that makes me glad I'll never go. Disney can't go bankrupt fast enough. Well, they literally can't, because despite all these problems they're having and them being forced to raise prices to try to boost the revenue and stuff like that, they're still making billions on the parks. So it'd take a long time for that to happen. Tobias for $5. If you die in a haunted mansion, does that mean your ghost is now contracted to work there forever as a Disney cast member?
Yes.
Yeah, you got to check the fine print when you sign up for the Disney Plus streaming service. You remember that, Jay? From like 4 years ago?
Yeah, someone died.
When I think somebody had an allergic reaction to some food or something and died, and they were trying to sue Disney. And I think it was at Raglan Road on Disney Springs or something too? It might have been.
Yes.
And they tried to sue Disney, and Disney's response was, well, in the fine print of the terms of service for Disney Plus, it actually tells you can never sue us for anything.
That's correct.
What happened with that? I wonder what happened with that shit. Kingdom Hearts Gamer, time to say Haunted Mansion is a deadly ride.
They do say, like, we have 999 deadly haunts, but we're always looking for one more. It's in the ride. So,
Pre-owned Corpse for $5. Ryan, did you see the new Kino parody about DSP? It's great. I did see it. A lot of production effort went into that. That's for sure. Also, it's been causing Phil to rant and rave about it on all his streams. Not surprising. Not surprising. Christian Rocker, don't let Ryan go to Disneyland parking garage.
Yeah, do you know about that?
No.
The Disneyland parking garage has been, I think they put nets up because for some reason a lot of people
killing themselves on it.
Yeah, they've been going. They'd spend the day it's very odd. They'd spend the day at the park, then they'd go to the parking garage to the top and just jump off, like after the fireworks. So it's like there was like a problem where people kept Minecrafting themselves like over and over, and then so they're like, well, we got to put some. I think they put nets up. I'm not sure, but kind of wild.
Oh, that's crazy. Maybe because they were in such crippling debt. You know, the dad wanted to give his kids a great experience. He goes there, he puts himself in a mountain of debt, and then he says, all right, sayonara. You know? I get it. Stephen McBride for 2. MLK. I ain't got no dreams no more. I am the dream. Thank you. Los Pollitos Hermanitos. For Canadian $6.99. Blue Jays to the ALCS. Are we getting Night of the Seven Kingdoms trailer today? There is a Night of the Seven Kingdoms trailer today, but I don't think it'll release until afternoon. George R.R. Martin is appearing with the showrunner and two of the stars for a panel at New York Comic, or maybe it's New York Comic Con. It's a panel today, but I don't think the panel's until afternoon. So they'll probably show the trailer there, and then it'll officially be released. So I don't think we'll officially see it by the time we're streaming. Jay, would you have a Wednesday Bible study with a group of Christian furries?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't think I'm the right person for that.
Profit JD. For 35 with 3 Inspire tickets at the new price, you can bewed a trained, unsullied prospect in Swaziland. There you go. Ministry of Wrong Thing. Cap and Cork employers have their employees use forklifts to lift their spirits. Get it, Jay?
No. Cap and Cork?
Cap and Cork.
I don't
So
get it.
They're lifting alcohol.
Oh.
Forklift. Get it?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Well, let's talk about Assassin's Creed. This came out yesterday afternoon, early evening, somewhere around there, and of course it started to go viral, and understandably so. I think this entire situation is absolutely hilarious. You know, Assassin's Creed Shadows with a black samurai in Yasuke, we saw that released. We saw the backlash before the release, and we saw the gaming journalists try to spin everything they possibly could to make it seem like it was a huge monumental success, when in reality it was a huge disappointment when you factor in the Assassin's Creed franchise, how big that franchise is, and what Ubisoft was expecting to get out of that game. And not long thereafter, they basically took a massive bailout. They've announced they're going to entirely restructure Ubisoft to essentially keep them alive, separate the good from the bad properties, all that stuff. Well, apparently they decided to do this last year as well. Ubisoft canceled an Assassin's Creed game set after the Civil War, featured a black assassin who is formerly a slave, would fight the emerging Ku Klux Klan. Leadership canceled it, concerned with the U.S. political climate and Yasuke backlash. Jay, wow. This shit is hilarious to me. I think it's hilarious anyway. Look, the idea of in a vacuum, the idea of an Assassin's Creed game set in the Civil War era, whatever, I think could be really fucking cool. I think it'd provide like some unique storytelling experiences and stuff like that. Right now, in modern day gaming, I would not want them touching that shit with a 10-foot pole. 100%. No way in hell, because all these people want to do is push their agenda, not actually tell entertaining stories. And I want to get into this, and I'll prove to you exactly why we know that that would have been the case with this game.
You don't have to prove it to me, but yeah, I know where you're going.
Well, I got to prove it to you, Jay.
I got you.
Ubisoft reportedly canceled an Assassin's Creed game set around the American Civil War because of Yasuke backlash and political turmoil in the U.S. The game was meant to take primarily during the Reconstruction era and would have featured a black assassin confronting the emergence of the Ku Klux Klan. Well, maybe they didn't want to have a black man assassinating Democrats. Maybe that's what they didn't want. Maybe they were a little spooked by that. Maybe that's a possibility. A new GameFile report claims Ubisoft canceled an Assassin's Creed game that would have been set in the U.S. Civil War and Reconstruction period that was followed. According to GameFile sources, the decision to cancel the game was made in 2024, in part because of the backlash against the reveal of the Black Samurai Yasuke in Assassin's Creed Shadows. Jay, you're a big pirate guy, right?
Yeah.
Did you like Assassin's Creed Black Flag?
Loved it. I'm thinking about doing another replay because it was so awesome.
Did you ever play the DLC for that game?
Actually, no, I have not.
Well, the DLC for that game, it ended up, you could get it as a standalone thing as well a couple years after that, but I think it was Freedom Cry. And you played Adewale, who was kind of the first mate on the Jackdaw in Black Flag, the game. And a black man who I believe was a former slave, right? Who was freed, who is, I think he's from Haiti, maybe Haiti, somewhere around there, right? He's in the Caribbean. Did anyone complain about Adewale being the playable character, a black man from the Caribbean set during that time in a DLC, which a large portion of the story was about other slaves and things like that? Was there any complaints?
I don't think so.
I don't remember any. I mean, there was from the mainstream media. There was complaints from the mainstream games journalists about Freedom Cry, the DLC for Black Flag. Do you know why? Because although it dealt with freeing slaves, They had a problem because by freeing slaves, it helped you on your missions. By freeing slaves, it gave you access. They essentially treated it as a side quest, which really takes away. It was sad that when you free a slave, it advances some portion of the game to get you more things. So slaves were still treated as a commodity. That's what the gaming journalist said back 11 fucking years ago about Freedom Cry when it did feature a black assassin. Did anyone complain when Assassin's Creed Origins came out and it was revealed that it takes place in Africa and you play a dark-skinned assassin? No. It's weird that there weren't any complaints about that. You know why there were complaints about a black assassin, a black protagonist in Assassin's Creed Shadows? Because it took place in feudal Japan, you dumb motherfucking cocksuckers. That's why you decided to shove this fake black samurai from some racist activist fucking story, right? There's this fake bullshit, fake history they made up to try to convince everybody that black people actually invented everything. You took that and you tried to put it in the game, right? Is Yasuke a real person? Yes. Was he a fucking samurai? No. He was kept as a joke. That's why Yasuke was there. But nevertheless, it's so funny that you decided because of the backlash to your ham-fisted black samurai that you wouldn't make another game about a black person. That is fucking funny. That is fucking funny. But more pressingly, over concerns about the current political climate in the U.S. Go ahead, Jay.
No, I'm saying if the other one was successful, you know, if Nakatomi was successful, we probably would have got a lot more agenda-filled games. It probably would have like taken this whole Assassin's Creed to a terrible turn of you know, messaging and everything else. So thank God it didn't go well and they canceled these other things because my goodness.
Well, and yes, you know what? Look, we're going to read through this. I'm going to show you why.
Yeah. I thought you were finished. I apologize.
No, it's good. You're part of this stream too, Jay. I'm just hyped right now.
Yeah.
The game was apparently going to tell the story of a former enslaved black man who, after moving west to start a new life, is recruited from the Assassin's Brotherhood. Following that, he would return to the U.S. South, coming into conflict with groups including the emerging Democratic group, the Ku Klux Klan, the white supremacist Democrat hate group that continues to operate today. By continues to operate, you mean there's like fucking 700 of them in existence, but thank you. The game was in the concept phase and years away from release when the cancellation occurred, but work was reportedly underway. This is why I am glad this game got canceled, because of this upcoming sentence. Game file sources, all current or former employees at Ubisoft, said developers were enthusiastic about the game, which some felt had the potential to make a positive social impact.
There it is. There it is.
Guess what? That's not why your audience is playing video games. Gamers are not playing games so they can be propagandized to in order to make a positive social change. People want entertainment. They want fun. They want compelling things that keep them interested and entertained. Your woke fucking devs that want to make a positive social change by pushing one specific fucking narrative down everyone's throats, that's not why people play games. That's why people don't buy your games anymore. And that's exactly what would have happened with this. Like I said, conceptually, if you take away all the fucking shit that these big game companies have done in the past couple years, and you rewind me back 20 years, I think it would be really cool to play a game like this? Yeah, fuck yeah. That sounds really interesting. Not nowadays, because of these fucking people right here. They don't want to entertain you. They want to propagandize to you. That's what this shit's all about.
100%. And they're looking for everything that they could do to check the boxes of DEI diversity to push it out. Yeah. And tell a story that you will find in your heart. Social justice. You know, after I play Assassin's Creed, you know, murder a bunch of people, go on missions, I think I find myself becoming a better citizen of society and understanding history and how, you know, white people are the worst people of them all. So I'm so glad I had video games to teach me all of that. I'm so glad, you know. You remember that old game from way back when? I think my father played Cubert. It was a little guy that just jumped on squares. And then at the end of it all, if he missed it, he just committed self-deletion because he couldn't solve the puzzle correctly. I'm so glad that taught me a bunch of lessons. Heck, Call of Duty taught me all kinds of words. And when they opened up the lobbies and I could hear other people talk to me, they said things about my mom I didn't know existed. But thank God we had video games to know that I learned new curse words that day that I never heard in my life. And I had to go ask people what it meant.
You know what's funny about this? This idea that these fucking devs are like, we could have created a real positive social change. Yeah, I agree. The idea of having a black person who was formerly enslaved, a game centered around that person. It's true, because if there's one thing that we never talk about here in America, it's fucking black people complaining about slavery from hundreds of years ago. We never hear about that shit. We never hear about it in any entertainment. We never hear about it every time somebody tries to budge you in line at McDonald's because they think they were fucking oppressed or their ancestors were. We never talk about slavery here. A game about slavery would really make a positive social change, because we really don't think about it here in America all the time. We never get talked to by politicians or anything about the terrible effects of slavery from people that we didn't know, that we never knew. Fucking ancestors upon ancestors. We never hear about that shit. But this fucking video game that we make, it'll make positive social change. We'll finally let people think about slavery. Yeah, we've fucking heard. Spoiler alert. We've heard about it. We know about it. Thanks for the update. I'm so glad this dog shit got canceled.
Maybe they would at least explain that the KKK was started by the Democrats, and maybe the black guy would have been a Republican since he was freed. Maybe we could have got that run. I'm all for it. Let's set the record straight, shall we?
Bro, they'll probably be like, it'll be all these like Democrat, people who wanted to keep slavery going, blah, blah, all this stuff. And then there's going to be like some line in there where it's like, we're going to change to Republican now. Like there's going to be something like that. You know what I mean? It's always the same shit you hear time after time.
They've hijacked the Democratic Party. They are now Republicans. That's where it truly began. Oh, I can't wait to hear more stuff that might have been canceled that they were planning on doing. Who knows?
And the idea of a fucking French company. That's what Ubisoft is. A French company that's like, well, the political climate in the US is it's just too much right now to make this game. Fuck you, you French bastards, you fucks. God.
Maybe they'll do an Assassin's Creed about the migration problem in Europe, and you could be a migrant taking down the different European nations.
Yeah, there's another one. It could be modern day London. You could be an assassin who just goes around with a machete stabbing children and strollers and shit. That would be I think it could cause positive social change, Ubisoft.
Yeah. I like it.
It'd be great.
How about you could be an assassin leading people across the border, and you got to take on Border Patrol.
Too many people get in the ship and you just sink.
Maybe.
In your fucking raft.
That would work.
All right, where was I? Tobias talking about his cat. It's a male Himalayan with blue eyes. We named him Frankie for old blue eyes, Frank Sinatra. I feel like you're an old soul, Tobias. My desk is open at the back, so all the comp wiring is easy to reach. Might Velcro it up the side somehow.
Frankie.
Yay herb. Or herb. Yay herb. For Australian 5. I wish Ubisoft would have committed to continuing going down the woke rabbit hole. Would have been funny, and at this point, Ubisoft is dead to me anyway.
I think I've only played 3 Assassin's Creed games, but Black Flag was definitely my favorite.
The Under Armour gamer, member for 47 months. As a disabled person, I always thought the theme park rules were unfair. but TJSTD.
I don't know. What rule? You can't ride a ride?
TJSTD. I don't know what that could be. I'm not hip to the lingo, I guess.
I'm not either. STD?
Boba Relius for 5. If House of the Dragon's only 4 seasons, with 2 already done, where will they end the story, or will they just skip a ton of things? I hesitate to say because I feel like it could be a spoiler, but it's a good question because House of the Dragon is a story out of a sliver of a history book, essentially, and it really doesn't end, right? It just kind of continues on with the next person, the next person, the next person, the next person. I think that after the culmination of these sides between the black and the green, trying to say this without spoiling anything, because you asked the question, I assume you know. You have a lot of deaths, and then you have the Hour of the Wolf, and someone else is crowned finally. And I think that I'm trying to not give any spoilers away. I think that somewhere around that time, after the Hour of the Wolf, and you have a new coronation, I think that's probably where you end this show, is my guess. Jacoby Monsoon. I agree. The theme park rules are way TGSTD. What is this? What does this mean?
I don't know what that means. TJSTD?
It's gotta just be a fucking typo.
Nothing's coming up on the.
Well, the autocorrects is just STD abbreviation.
Yeah.
TJSTD.
There is no acronym for TJSTD.
Yo, you know what AI says? You know what AI tells me? TJSTD is an acronym, or an acronym for things Jeremy says to do. I think that's complete happenstance.
How did you get that?
That's what my AI said.
Wow. My AI says, "Did you misspell a word?" There's nothing coming.
Well, your fucking AI knows you well, you know. For real, look at what mine says.
Things Jeremy says to do.
What the fuck? I don't know what the hell that means. That has to just be a typo, but I don't know. Snacks for 2, 12 years an assassin. Aren't the assassins the ones wearing white robes? Ironically enough. Logan Johnson.
Ryan, and we're going to figure this out.
What's that?
I'm bringing a bottle of whiskey over and we're going to figure this out. Oh, you never heard that slang?
I will be over it by the time we're done with the stream.
You never heard that phrase?
I'm going to bring over a bottle of whiskey and we'll figure this out.
Some viral video of a neighbor coming over wanting to drink whiskey with his neighbor. He's just like he's in the record, like in the ringer records. He's like, "We're going to open this bottle of whiskey and we're going to figure this out."
I don't remember that. No, I don't remember that. This is what Shadows should have been, not the dog shit we got. Could have been like Freedom Cry, but on a larger scale, which in my opinion would have been awesome, but not under current UB slop. ICE agents were surrounding Chicago PD stood down. Yeah, it's getting kind of insane.
All right, I got to play it for you. Here we go. This has nothing to do with nothing, but now Ryan will know. This is going to be me in like 20 years, 30 years, going to Ryan's house.
Ian,
Hey, what's going on?
I'm your neighbor. Open your door, brother.
I'm not home. I'll be home in like 10 minutes.
Oh, who's all these cars out front? I thought you were home.
Oh, yeah. I have people there with me right now, but I'll be home in like 10 minutes.
Yo, brother, I'm bringing a bottle of whiskey over. We're gonna figure this out, right?
You never seen this before?
Right?
Right.
Where you at?
I'm at the grocery store.
Where you at, man? Get home.
Get home, brother.
All right.
We're gonna drink this stuff.
I'll be home soon.
We're drinking.
Right.
All right. I'll see you in a few minutes, right?
All right.
All right. See you then.
I feel like he already had one of those.
We're going to bring over this bottle. We're going to figure this out.
We're going to figure this out.
I love it. That's the best neighbor in the world to have.
I'm your neighbor.
Dude. He probably had 2 bottles before he came over, but.
Flag Ninja, preach, Ryan. Tell everyone about the bullshit. Ministry of Wrong Thing for 10. The last 6 remaining Hassan fans are trying to cancel Asmongold again because of his comments on what Trump should do to rioters who attack ICE. His response was, I agree with Florida. What a bar.
We're going to figure this out.
Tobias for 10. I want to make a positive change to society. Well, that doesn't make a positive change to your bank balance, though. The thing that matters the most to major companies. No one wants your politics. Thanks, Tobias. Brian Stewart for 2. Slay, very. Queen Ryan, yes. Beardo Fat. Always got to get one of those in there.
Yeah.
Always. Never change, Ryan. Never change, says Fake Tie Dude. Change doesn't come easily for me. Nor do I put much of an effort into it.
I'm going to bring some whiskey over and we'll figure it out.
Well, we'll figure this out, brother. Get back here. Get home. Nimble Fred for $10. In Assassin's Creed Charlotte Mass Transit, your mission is to get that white bitch. God. Mako Gray, Assassin's Creed in Canada takes place in Montreal. D's Webos. Are you telling me there's no in feudal Japan? I don't know if that didn't translate right over to my side or if I could actually see what it is on YouTube. I don't know what that is.
Ninjas?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, no ninjas. No, there were no ninjas. Only samurai.
Yeah. Or maybe that's samurai. I don't know, but yeah, it looked like.
Can you see that on screen?
Yeah.
You can see that on screen when I'm showing you. They look like little ninjas.
Yep.
They look like nothing to me. I'm going to take a picture. And I'm going to show everybody.
Wait, maybe I can share my screen.
I'll just show you what mine looks like. So, hold on. Fucking. You see that?
Oh, it's squares.
Yeah. No. So just blank.
That's
what it looks like for me when we're looking at it right now. That's fucking weird.
It looks like, hold on. I'll take a picture. There we go. It looks like this. Oh, freaking green screen, but
that's so wild. That happens to me all the time. I just figured it was right? I see it. Oh, okay. I just figured it was a problem with StreamYard, like translating it from YouTube, but apparently it's like a specific me thing. That's
bro. I'm gonna have to come over and we're gonna have to figure this out.
Leave the whiskey. Mad Dog, can we watch the Dunk and Egg panel on streaming? I do not know if anyone will be streaming it. I don't know what they're doing with it. I imagine after they do the panel and show the trailer, they'll probably publicly release it, but I don't know. Gabe Athhouses. Gone with the Wind portrays the K-Clan correctly. The Under Armour Gamer Second time I accidentally sent a membership message. What I meant to say is I think it's unfair for others because I get a time to come back with no waiting. It was a typo. My disability has been getting worse lately. Well, thank you for clearing that up on Earn Gamer. Sorry to hear about that.
Oh,
But, man,
yeah.
you threw us through a loop, bro.
Correct. The DAS pass, the disability pass. Yeah, you go up and there's a person there and you're just like, hey, I'm crippled. And they're like, yeah, come back at 4 and we'll get you right on the ride. So
that's nice.
Oh, here we go. Look at this from Tree Bear. This is a game I want to play. Assassin's Creed Nakatomi.
I look creepy, dude. I look weird. I'm okay with like the photoshops that turn me into a girl as long as I'm attractive. I don't look good in that one. Like weird in that one.
It's great. Like Jeremy doesn't look good in any of.
Well, makes sense. Mad Frog. Things Jeremy says to do. Get high KD, get forklift certified, work retail. Minister Wrong think. We need to go into the Capitol. Things Jeremy says to do. This might be a new meme, Jay. TJSTD, that JSTD.
Oh, no. Let's go back to Jeremy.
Little Jim's Halo, Battlefield 6 tomorrow. Y'all going to try it? I will have to eventually. I don't know how much time I'm going to have this weekend to do it, but I have to eventually. I've heard good things about it. Brian Stewart, Westworld Robot Ryan's program to not see. What is that? Is it another ninja?
It's a cat with a black person.
Okay.
It's an orange tabby cat with a black man.
Well,
yeah, I mean, like, I think this is one of Jeremy's better when they made him Voldemort. My God. That is like something that will haunt your dreams, dude.
Bro, that looks disturbing.
That's what he looks like with his hat off.
He wishes he would look less fucked up if he was bald. I've said that consistently since the time I met him. Like the reason Jeremy wears a hat isn't because he's bald. His hair looks worse. Like if he were just fully fucking bald or like a horseshoe, that would be less embarrassing than it is when he takes his hat off.
Oh man.
Jay, you ever I know the answer to this question. But have you ever been around somebody who like constantly wears a hat and then they randomly take their hat off and they're just fucking bald and you're like,
you were there. You were there one time that happened to me.
I was. That's why I asked.
And I was like, just to show everyone I'm okay.
Jay, like
there was someone there and I was like,
Jay looks at me. He's like, and he starts he had to go upstairs. He was laughing.
Y'all ran in the room after me laughing at me because I walked around a corner and someone didn't have their hat on. And I looked at Ryan and went.
And I told him and he's
Ryan told me and I started laughing and I booked it.
Man. They sprinted out of there, dude.
Oh man, I was about to lose it, dude.
Jay sprinted out of there as fast as he could go. But it was not Jim. I'm telling you guys, I would tell you if Jeremy's bald. Y'all saw his fucking hair in the park hopping stream or whatever. Damn. Whew. Anyway, Jay, we got to talk about Superman a little bit. Do you remember? It seems like so long ago, but it was really only, a month or two ago when Superman was the biggest smashing box office success that anybody could have possibly asked for. Don't look at these numbers. Just believe the statements that are coming from Warner Brothers. Just believe the James Gunn cocksucking shills that exist all around the world, apparently. And I'm sure there's nobody that's being paid to promote these DC movies this way. Just believe it, Jay. You remember that?
Yes.
That even though we knew that a lot had been spent making this movie and promoting this movie, and even the budgets they reported are in all likelihood lies because we have the official documents about how much they actually spent on Superman. But Don't believe your eyes. Just listen to the mainstream media and the statements from Warner Brothers that are like, yeah, break even's only $500 million for this. Oh, by the way, we've already made $125 million in profit in theaters from this movie. We promise. Well, sometimes the truth's a little different. And now we're getting articles like this. Was Superman really a box office success? The answer may surprise you. Report: Superman box office isn't the success that Warner Brothers claimed. Warner Brothers has been patting itself on the back, quietly boasting to the trades about $125 million in profits for Superman. However, Forbes is now reporting the truth is a lot murkier than the studio's intel would have you believe. Superman recently closed its domestic theatrical run with a worldwide gross of $615 million. Impressive at first glance, but the numbers only tell half the story. Man, I remember when the people in the Gunverse, they were telling you this is going to blow away Man of Steel, that this thing could hit $1 billion, that low estimates were $800 million. That's what we were hearing. That's what I heard. What about you, Jay?
Same. And they were angry when, how dare you would call this a flop or that it wouldn't make money. You guys don't know what you're talking about. You stupid YouTuber. Don't know anything.
Yeah, and then this wasn't a cheap blockbuster. If we are to believe Warner Brothers, the film reportedly cost $225 million, with another $125 million poured into global marketing. Now, that is what Warner Brothers told us. They've also told us other things. Gunn has told us other things that repeatedly turn out to be lies. It's funny how that works, and some people like to forget about those things, but we saw tax documents from Ohio that said that Warner Brothers was prepared to spend, that their initial budget was around $370 million for Superman. Certainly, you can get some money back in tax breaks and things like that. This is also a movie that had reshoots, unlike a lot of James Gunn movies, so that's an added cost, all these things. But they said only $225 million. We also heard from execs that they felt like Warner Brothers has spent $200 million marketing this movie, but Warner Brothers said only $125 million. So these are the most conservative possible estimates, that they spent $350 million total on this movie. Forbes estimates that with a typical 50-50 split in ticket receipts between the theaters and studios, Superman was just shy of breaking even. By just shy, they mean by about $42 million. They additionally emphasized that miscellaneous expenses that invariably come with tentpole release were not even counted in their final calculation. Warner Brothers can claim $125 million in profit with a straight face, and the trades can report about this being a win, but the reality is far more complicated. As always, the studio's definition of profit might be more aspirational than actual. Now, look, if we take them at their word for the budget, $42 million short of breaking even for its theatrical release. Look, you can still have video on demand and sales and other things like that on the back end do eventually recoup those numbers. We don't know about those. We don't know what those numbers are. We'll never see what those numbers are. But you can make those arguments. But when it comes to theatrical release, even with taking them at their word, which is asinine, because they've shown they repeatedly lie over and over and over again, even with that $125 million in profit bullshit, even taking them at their word, it was far from breaking even at the theaters. It was far from the smash hit that these people were claiming it was. And if there was any more indication that maybe, just maybe, people aren't exactly hyped or excited about this new DC universe, look no further than Peacemaker ratings, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like, look no further than Peacemaker ratings, because this show is absent everywhere. I think it's nowhere in the streaming ratings for Nielsen. If you factor in hey, what is that fucking, I forget what it is. It is here it is. If you factor in Samba TV, who doesn't count minutes watched necessarily, but says how many people are tuning in, Peacemaker is 16th in terms of the top streaming shows that are out there right now. Not exactly the crazy high-flying numbers that they expected. It's weird that maybe the AstroTurfed support for Superman was really just that, AstroTurfed.
They did everything in their power to try to spin this thing to make it seem like it was such a massive success. I guess they didn't want it. I guess they didn't want it compared to the other Superman franchises, or whatever, like the Henry Cavill stuff or Snyderverse or anything like that. So, but like you said before, this was the one that had to really do very well to really kick off this universe. And now we've got 2 projects. We've got one with the ratings in the tank, the first one that barely broke even, and now we have Supergirl coming up next. I'm assuming Supergirl is right.
Supergirl with a similar reported budget, by the way, to Superman.
Oh, really?
Does anyone think that's going to do better than Superman?
No, I think they were probably hoping that Superman would just do so well it could cover up some, miss hits or pay for everything. But the James Gunn universe probably won't last that long, though, man. If it doesn't catch, right? Wouldn't you assume that it would after bomb after bomb, they'll just be like, we gave it a good old college try, we gave you 10 films or something like that, and then we're done? Or
here's what I will say: I wouldn't say that this is a bomb, right? I wouldn't say that this movie, which came about $40 million short in theaters of making a profit, which probably will make that up on the back end, and not be a loss for them. I wouldn't call that a bomb. I would call it a disappointment, right? That's what I would call it for them. So I don't think they're going to pull the plug right now. We're going to see how the sequel does. Maybe we'll get his Batman, but I certainly don't think that, after this, James Gunn has a decade to do whatever he wants with this Smash 6. I don't think that's the case, right?
Got it.
We'll see in 3 years' time maybe what this all looks like. But yeah, it's just funny to see the disconnect between what we were told. And look, in terms of not wanting to compare it against the other Superman franchises, you know who did want to do that? All the fucking Gunn fans in the world said this is going to smash past Man of Steel, blah, blah, blah. Not only did it not smash by Man of Steel when you adjust for inflation and ticket prices, it couldn't even beat it, just straight up numbers against numbers. It sold about half the amount of tickets that Man of Steel did 12 years ago. Half. That's where we're at.
Good job.
Half, Jay. Half.
We're going to have to figure this out, man.
Some whiskey.
Where are you, man? Get home.
The Under Armour Gamer says, my spastic spasm created a new meme. It did. That's going to be a good meme, Under Armour Gamer. Angst Kitten for $5. Jay, was that emoji really a black person and not a blue head for you? The stream showed a blue head.
Really? Now I'll take a picture next time. All right, hold on. Let me do it. Let me get the
over on the Rumble side.
Camera out real quick.
Ryan's gay hair says, Ryan, let's team up against the forehead. I mean, I could put my hair down if you guys want. I could put it down and one of those things that people do nowadays.
Oh, freak. All right, hold on. Look here. Let me take this off. All right. When I zoom in, it is purple.
That is a cat and a purple person. What the fuck?
So, yeah, but from a distance, he looks dark. But what does that even mean? Cat and purple. What is that? Like a cat lady or something?
I don't know. Cat boy?
I don't know.
All right, where was I? We're on Rumble. Icanalis for $5. Icanalis. Ryan looking at meme of himself. I look weird and creepy. Me. Bites tongue. Thank you. Snacks. Never kiss your cousin on a first date. Things Jeremy says to do. I love my sister. Things Jeremy says to do. Taker. I made Az and Gary laugh by mentioning perhaps the reason some people associate certain groups with orcs is because of something I found in retail trainings called organized retail crime. Orc. It's interesting, Taker. I never heard of that before. But I don't like this. So I'm going to put my hair back up. There we go. Went back in place fairly easily. With that being said, Jay, I think we're all caught up.
Sounds good. I might go tickle the old ivory here later today. Play a little piano. There possibly could be a Park Hoppin' live stream from Halloween Horror Nights, but we're keeping a close eye on the weather. It's supposed to be some bad thunderstorms rolling in by the time we get out there. So if that's the case,
yeah, you're going to watch Thursday Night Football, Giants and Eagles.
Maybe.
Oh,
we'll see. It started off as a plan, but then
both your brother and Beardo thought that I might show up, and we're like, we don't want to go there and be. Both of them were being bitches about it. By the way,
I wanted you to. I invited you.
I know both of them on either side are like, I don't want to go there if Ryan's there
because Ryan's always correct.
My team, and both of them root for different teams.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. So right now, if it does happen, it's just me and Beardo will be there. So. And then, but then, like, if the weather's really bad, then, we will have a park hopping stream on Friday instead of Thursday. There you go.
I'm making sure that we haven't seen this trailer yet. I still haven't seen it. Yeah, still haven't seen that trailer that got released yet. So we're not gonna watch the trailer, but
maybe tomorrow.
Maybe. I mean, it'll only be 24 hours old by tomorrow, but we'll see. Somebody says new trailer.
I will refuse to watch it so I could do a live reaction.
Someone says new trailer. I will check HBO's.
Yeah, I'm checking now. I don't.
I'll check HBO's fucking channel. Oh, we did 6 minutes ago. Didn't get released on Twitter yet.
Oh, that's why.
All right, let's watch it. And we'll probably get copyright claimed. All right. I'm looking forward to Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I like the Dunk and Egg books. Let's see what we got. Got a trailer reaction for you. An HBO original. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. This should be a little different vibe than other Game of Thrones entries because of the nature of the story. Let's go.
I was squire to Sir Ireland of Pennytree since I was a boy. He charged me to be a good knight, to defend the weak and the innocent, and I swore that I would. Are you Baelor Targaryen? No. Then would you move the fuck out of the way? Sorry.
What's your name?
Sir Duncan the Tall.
Never heard of him.
Do you know every knight in the Seven Kingdoms, then?
The good ones. If you could bring me to Ashford, I could squire for you, sir.
Rob me, and I'll hunt you down with dogs.
You don't have dogs!
I'll get some.
Where?
Oh!
Boys, stop gaping. See to my horse.
I'm not a stable boy, my lord.
Not clever enough.
I know I'm just a hedge knight, but sometimes I think there could be more.
Why do you treat these royal lapdogs like they're your betters?
They are my betters. These men have a name. I'm trading. What chance do I have? I have no chance.
Falling star brings luck to those who see it.
So the luck is ours alone? I need to fight honorably. But sometimes I think I buried my courage alongside the old man. And in every man, there are many men. So be brave. Be just. Be tall.
That's cool.
I think that's it. Yeah, look.
Looks awesome.
If you know the story, then you know the story. If you know the story, you know who that little kid is. You know why that kid is bald and what reason they might have for being bald. Look, for me, based on what we've heard from behind the scenes, based on what we're seeing here, I think it is going to be very close to the book. It's a short book, or it's a short story, basically. It's supposed to be 6 episodes, kind of 30 to 40 minutes each. It's going to be a relatively quick series. And like I said, it's a little different than your typical Game of Thrones story that you're used to seeing on television. It's not wide-scoping, wide-ranging, going to all these different places. It is going to be set in kind of one specific place about Sir Duncan the Tall, how he gets his start, who this little boy is who's named Egg, and what his purpose for being there is. I'm hyped. It looks pretty freaking good. The fact that he's got the like the rope there on his waist to hold his sword, kind of like exactly from the book. I like it. I dig it.
It looks great. Looking forward to it. I know nothing about the story. I'll be going right in dry.
Going in dry, huh?
Yeah. Don't know why that kid's
the only
bald.
problem with them deciding to do this show is much like everything else that George R. R. Martin does. It's fucking unfinished. There are 3 Dunk and Egg books right now, and I believe the intention is for there to be 5, maybe more. Of course, they're not done. So maybe we'll get 3 good seasons of this. And that's all you can hope for. So we'll see. 100 years before Winds of Winter, says Harry Brownhole. Yeah, so this takes place roughly 100 years after House of the Dragon and 100 years before Game of Thrones. If you're wondering, like, this is an era where the last dragon has died, like, isn't around anymore. The Targaryens are still in power, but their power feels different without the dragons to back it up, type of thing. But there still are a lot of Targaryens around. If you may have seen a couple of them in the trailer. All right. That's it. Oh, Night of the Seven Kingdoms would be just as brutal, yes? Well, they're there for a tournament. So there is going to be fighting. Like, there is going to be fights and stuff like that. But like it'll have it. I mean, they showed some of it there. I would imagine most of that will be around the end of, like, in the last episode or 2. My guess. All right. That's it. We'll talk to all you motherfuckers later.
Got a little extra today.
Bye, everybody.